Welcome to Hatha Yoga. Today, something very different. A short class designed to help you prepare to get ready for sleep. The main aim of this class is to reduce your stress levels and to make your physical body comfortable so when you lay in bed, you're prepared to silently and smoothly and easily drift off to sleep. So although today I am going to ask you to make a little bit of effort, let it be loose, let it be free, let it feel relaxed. The most important part about this practice is your breath. In your mind, I want you to think, inhale slow and steady, exhale slow and steady, inhale slow and steady, exhale slow and steady. And if you can keep that rhythm, that thought, that concentration and connection to your breath, then all those other little thoughts, all those other little worries and concerns that might stop you achieving sleep should disappear. So think, slow breath in, slow breath out. So we're going to start nice and slow. We're going to start nice and steady with a few moon salutations. So I want you to come towards the back of your mat and I want you to sit in hero pose. Now if hero pose is not comfortable for you, you can come up on your knees. However, if you're comfortable here, just a couple of breaths. Loosen any stress, loosen any tension from your shoulders and your neck. And bring your hands to heart center. Take a couple of those really long, controlled breaths. You feel how the inhalation lasts the same amount of time as your exhalation. You can count in your mind. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And we begin to move at the same speed, at the same rhythm. So with your next inhalation, hands up. 3, 2, 1. As you exhale, fold forward to child's pose in 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, come up to all fours in 3, 2, 1. As you exhale, tuck your toes under downward dog in 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, knees back down towards the mat. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, child's pose. 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, lift your upper body and your buttocks. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, hands heart center. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach up. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly sit yourselves back down. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hands up. As you exhale, fold at your hips like a hinge. We come down to child's pose. As you inhale, come up into all fours. And as you exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your knees, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back into all fours, lower the knees. Exhale, bum back on the heels, child's pose. Inhale, reach the hands, the heart, the hips all the way up. Exhale, hands, heart center, little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, soft, lower your glutes, let your bum touch your heels. Inhale, last time, reach up. As you exhale, really reach forward. Feel your body as long, hand, heart, chest towards the floor. Inhale, come up to all fours, this time a tiny little bit further forward, stretch the front of your hips. And as you exhale, tuck your toes under, weight goes back, lift your knees for downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the knees back down towards the floor, but this time slightly wider than your hips. Bring your big toes together and allow your weight to come back. So we're going to be in child's pose again, but this time with the legs a little bit wider. So this time we're going to hold child's pose for a few breaths. So you can relax your neck. You might feel like you want to turn your head gently to one side for a few breaths and then the other side for a few breaths to relax your neck. You're feeling how your belly button sinks in between your quadriceps. So here with your hands, you can keep your hands reaching forwards or maybe bring your arms back down by the sides of your feet, whatever feels good for your neck and shoulders. You might like to keep your elbows on the floor and have your hands on the back of your shoulder blades. You'll get a bit more stretch through your triceps. Listen to your body. And remember that flow of breath. Still. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. So with your next exhalation, let your hands come forwards onto the mat. And as you inhale, come up to all fours. As you exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your knees for downward dog one more time. And now very gently start to walk your feet forwards. So you're slow and you're careful, you're feeling how your feet touch the mat or the floor, you're very soft and you're very gentle. And when you're forward with your feet more or less at hip width, I want you to let your back gently relax. I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to get a stretch in your back as well as in your legs. Now I want you to take your hands off the floor and hug your elbows. Allow the weight of your arms to gently stretch the back, and remember we're trying to release tension. So you can gently turn your head to the left and the right. You can imagine that your head is like the weight on the end of a piece of string. You can also imagine that all of that tension, all of that stress is just draining out of your head. So you're stretching the back of the legs, you're stretching your lower back, your upper body, and your head is heavy. Your knees are just bent enough so you can feel the stretch in your back as well as in your legs. If you've got flexible hamstrings, then your legs might be straight. Listen to your body. Remember, you can move a little bit, you can allow a little bit of massaging sensation, movement into your shoulders. So now very slowly, very carefully, remember we're doing everything super chilled with the breath. Start to unroll, allow each vertebra to come up towards the ceiling. And then when you're stood up, I want you to gently find a position with your feet separated a little bit wider. So we're not trying to break any records, we're just trying to get into a comfortable position where we can feel that our hips are square, the legs are engaged, but we're not trying to, as I said, break any records. So bring your hands behind your back and interlink your fingers. Now what I want you to do is try and work to feel that your back stays relatively straight and slowly fold forward. When you've got the forward fold, you can lift your hands away from your back. You can allow the weight of your arms and your hands to gently get the stretch through your shoulders. You can turn from one side to the other. Imagine you're a weather vane or a wind vane moving in the wind. No tension in the neck. So you are lightly squeezing your shoulders back and your shoulder blades together. What you are definitely doing is trying to spread the weight evenly between your toes and your heels. The most important of all is that your breath is still controlled. It's still aware. You're still matching the length of time of the inhalation and the exhalation. You're feeling the stretch in the back of the legs. Try and release the tension in the neck. And with your next exhalation, release the hands and the arms and bring your hands down towards the floor. Now with your hands on the floor, I gently want you to start to bring your heels and your toes in towards the center, and when your feet are at hip width or a little bit wider, bend your knees and allow yourselves to come down into a seated position. So now once you're on this seated position, I want you to feel nice and tall. I want you to draw your heels in towards your groin, and I want you to take hold of your feet. Some people say that opening the feet like a book feels nice in the hips. Other people say that that overstretches the outside of your heels. Do whatever feels good for you. So you can hold your feet together, or you can open your feet like a book. But what I do want you to think about is having a relatively straight back. And then gently, as much as you need, a tiny little forward fold. So we're not trying to touch our head down towards the floor. What we're trying to do is rotate our pelvis floor forwards and gently let the knees fall out towards the side. So what we're doing here in this position before bed is we're preparing our hips. We're making sure there's no tension, that we're kind of loose around our hips so that when we eventually do lay down in bed, we feel comfortable, we don't feel stress and tension. Remember, the mental side of this is your breath. Keep your conscience and your awareness on your breath. That steady, smooth flow of breath, matching inhalation with exhalation. You can gently help to open your your legs out towards the side with your elbows if you're there, if you're low enough. If not, you might just be up, trying to feel that you're rolling onto the front edge of your sit bones with your spine. So now, no rush. You can gently start to come up to seat. Nice long back. And we're gently going to bring our knees up towards each other. I want you to slowly straighten your legs out in front of you. Anything that feels good, a little bit of movement in the legs, stimulate a little bit the knees, a few circles in your ankles. And now, slowly, legs out towards the side. So, as wide as feels comfortable for you. And in that last position I said about feeling that you're rolling onto the front edge of the sit bones, same deal. I want you to feel like you're on the front edge of your sit bones to help your pelvis rotate forwards. Today I'm going to say to leave your hands on the floor and gently start to walk your hands forwards as much as you need to get a nice stretch. So you might feel that you get low enough to maybe relax your head and your chin in your hands. Just feel that nice soft breath come in and out through the nose. Stretching the inside of your legs along your back. Just preparing your physical and mental body for sleep. If you feel like you can go a little bit further, then you might allow your belly button to come down a little bit more, and maybe your head and your chest come down on towards the floor. Depends how your flexibility is, how you're feeling at this stage of the day. Wherever you are, make sure it feels good, make sure it feels restorative. Remember, we don't want to sweat. We want to keep our breath controlled and steady. So another 3 breaths. Wherever you are, very gently, very softly, start to slowly come up. And now what I want you to do is I want you to bend the right knee. Softly bring your right foot onto the inside of your left leg. You might want to walk your right sit bone a tiny little bit forward so you feel that you've got a nice parallel line with your hips in relation to your left leg. So with your right knee going down towards the floor, I want your back to be long. And I want you to lift your arms over your head. You can interlink your fingers, show your palms up towards the sky, get a bit of space in your armpits, a bit of length in your spine, and then as you exhale, fold over that front leg. So you're going to feel a stretch in the back of your left hamstring. You feel the length in your spine. If you wish, again, like we did in that previous pose, you could rest your head in your hands. You may wish to hold your feet and let your head come down towards your shin. You may be quite a little bit higher. You can have your hands on the floor, support the weight of your upper body a bit with your arms. Wherever you are, make sure you're feeling a nice sensation under the left leg and in the right hip. No rush, take your time with the strength in your upper body. Help yourselves to come up to seat. And now we're going to change side. So we're going to open that right leg out towards the side, then feel a little bit more weight on the right sit bone as we gently bring our left knee in towards the center. Again, if you want that little shuffle to feel that you've got that nice 90 degrees between your right leg and your hips, all good. Same as we did before, inhale, hands overhead, show the palms up towards the ceiling, bit of length for the spine. And now soft, fold forwards. Again, you've got the options. You could hold the foot, you could relax your head and your chin and your arms. If you don't feel like you get high enough, you could maybe have your elbows on your quadriceps. It'll give you a little bit of an extra added bonus massage in your quads. You might be up on your hands. Remember, wherever you are, you're feeling that your pelvis rotates forward. You're feeling that nice length that you're getting under your right knee, in your right hamstring, and breathe. The breathing is what is going to get you into that nice, relaxed state, prepared for sleep. Nice and soft, nice and slow. Start to gently release. Bring yourselves up to seat. And now what I want you to do is straighten that left leg next to the right. If you're on your mat or if you're on the floor next to your bed, wherever feels good, I want you to now gently lay yourselves back. So when you're laid back, I want you to place your feet at hip width. So feel that your spine is on the floor, and then with strong legs, start to gently lift your spine off the floor. So you can bring your hands under your hips, help support the weight of the pose a little if you wish. If it doesn't feel comfortable with your hands under your back, you can have the hands stretched and on the floor. Or you could have the arms gently out towards the side, palms facing up. Find whatever feels best for you. So you are using a little bit of energy in your legs, but what we're trying to do is stretch through the front of the body. Still connecting with the breath. You can feel your feet connected through the floor. For another 3, 2, and 1. Gentle and slow, start to release. All the back comes down towards the floor. And now I want you to use the weight of your legs to help you come up into a seated position. There's no rush. So at this point, if you are really preparing for bed, you could even move to your bed. So now you can either move to your bed or stay where you are. I will see you there very shortly. So as you can see, I'm clearly not in bed, but I have moved my mat. I've moved my mat next to the wall. So if you have your bed next to the wall, the head end of the bed or wherever, you could also lay in bed and go up just onto your bed wherever is close to the wall. If you're not on your bed, you're on your mat, that's fine. Put your mat against the wall. What I want you to have is something like a rolled up blanket. It could also be your pillow folded up, or it could be a spare rolled up mat or anything, something that you can put pressed up against the wall. So now what I want you to do is I want you to sit as close into the wall as you can. You're going to feel a little bit weird to start with because one of your bum cheeks will be up on your mat or your pillow, and then I want you to shuffle into the wall. So you're using your elbows and you're shuffling in as far as you can go. So when you're there, I want you to feel that your sacrum is propped up on the blanket or on the block or on your pillow, and I want you to have your legs up the wall. So now with your hands, you can open your hands out towards the side, shuffle, keep adjusting, make sure you're comfortable. You should feel a nice sensation in your lower back and also in your hamstrings. So now once you're here, you can close your eyes and just think about your breath. You can imagine that your legs are like in Savasana, so your feet just open out towards the side very gently. Just let them go wherever feels natural. If this feels terrible and too much, then you might want to bend your knees a little bit or have your feet against the wall a little bit more like a squat. Do whatever feels good. But the benefit comes from the fact that we've got our legs higher than our heart. So we are in an inversion. Now, I said at the beginning of the video this was going to be a short practice. So unfortunately, we can't stay here for 10 minutes. Well, at least I can't. If you're super comfortable here with your legs up the wall, stay for as long as you wish. Take a few more cleansing breaths. We're helping the blood flow. We're helping to get some of the liquid, some of the blood away from the feet and towards our hearts. You're helping to reduce the appearance or avoid altogether varicose veins. You're relaxing, more of that oxygenated blood goes to your head. There's not much happening here, sort of physically, stimulation-wise, so you can just concentrate on the breath. So as I mentioned, if you want to stay here for longer, you can. Or if you're ready, you can gently start to come away from the wall. You can do it any way you like. Just come away from the wall until you can lay down with your legs outstretched. So if you're in bed, fabulous. If you're not in bed, also fabulous. So what we're going to do now is just a few little twists just to make sure there's no tension in the lower spine after having the legs up the wall. So with your arms out towards the side, I want you to bend your knees and lift your knees above your hips. And now very gently, very soft, allow your legs to come out towards the left. As you inhale, come back up towards the center. And then as you exhale, let your legs go out towards the right. So this is another good opportunity, another good time for you to count your breath. So you inhale up for 3, 2, 1. Exhale to the left for 3, 2, 1. Inhale up to the center for 3, 2, 1. Exhale out to the right for 3, 2, 1. Keep moving with your breath. It could be slower, it could be faster than I was counting. Remember, as always, it's your practice. You do what feels good for you. The next time you get back towards the center, you can gently place your feet down on the floor. Just spend a couple of breaths, check in once again, see how your body's feeling, and then gently straighten your legs and find Savasana. So Savasana could also be translated now as your position for sleep if you're in bed and you're ready. So I want you to just lay comfortably if you're not in bed, and if you are in bed, then you can get yourselves ready for your sleep. So here, again, I want you to think about the breath. In Savasana, we normally try and release all tension, all control. But if you're somebody that struggles to fall asleep, then put your attention back in your breath. You inhale and exhale through the nose, again, with that rhythm. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And slowly start to drift off into your own breathing rhythm, your own breathing pattern, and shortly, relaxed, stress-free sleep will